this in chapter 5. This is going to be the elements, and then chapter 5 is going to be the principles of art. Really important to know these and use this vocabulary correctly in your essays and so on. And these terms are also described in the book in the glossary, and I give you guys an art terms definition as well with that. I think it's a PDF or a page underneath that first segment for the course. Okay, so for chapter 4, the visual elements, you're dealing with line, shape, and mass, light, color, texture, space, and then time and motion. Space anymore and light, those two are very different definitions than what they used to be, and time and motion was added more recently because of kinetic work and video. Okay, so line is, these are key terms. I'm going to let you go over these in the regular PowerPoint. Visual elements help analyze our visual experiences. So this is the fundamental language we're discussing art. So you really do need to know these. So line is defined as the path of a moving point. An outline defines a two-dimensional shape. Contour lines record boundaries and define more specifically what shapes represent. So you guys know what an outline is. If you just take a piece of paper, put your hand on it, and take a pencil and draw all those edges, you know, you outline your hand. So that's not really giving you that much information. A contour line is more to the point of the outlines, yes, but the contours also have to do with some of the three-dimensionality of the shape, okay? And then it just uses a simple technique, overlapping. You can see how the bull, you can't see this part of the bull's backbone because the leg is overlapping the bull. And you can't see that leg because the bull is blocking that leg. So that tells you that that object is behind the bull's body. The leg tells you that the bull's body is behind that leg, and so on. And then the overlapping within this piece, you kind of see that, but that's not quite to the point. Contours, all right, so this is just like a real simple line of this leg, another simple line going down to the bottom of the animal's leg, and also the hoof there. And you guys get the idea with the hat and so on. There's information here. There's not a fully shaded in. There's no shading with contours. There's no real heavy sense of volume here, but we do get a sense of the contours of the piece, what's happening in the image, how wide, how thick and tall this animal is. If it was just an outline, we would just be following this line, right? It would be a silhouette, and that's not the same thing. Okay, so this is contour. Lines with movement, this is really important to know, and you will write in this way with these terms, and it will be very important. Vertical lines, they're assertive, denote growth and strength. Horizontal lines appear calm, and diagonal lines appear dramatic. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. Vertical, up and down, what does that remind us of? A lot of times in the class, I'll stand and I'll act these positions out, not quite laying on the floor, but you know what I'm saying. Vertical lines is standing, right? That's assertion. Trees are quite often vertical, right? It's not calm, but it's telling us that that person is sort of at ease. It's strong, but it's not active. Does that make sense? Horizontal, calm, what would that be like? Sleeping. So really, this goes back to our primal part of our brain, I think our reptilian brain, is that we need to understand and assess things maybe at a distance and sometimes very quickly. So we look at these things and we try to understand if is it a threat to us or is it going to attack us, right? So vertical would just mean that it's there, we're going to interact with it, but it's not immediate. Horizontal, they're sleeping, we're not too stressed about that. Diagonal is dramatic and movement oriented. Like when a runner's running, it's at a diagonal. We're going to look at this here at the Biglin Brothers, and I'm going to show you this next slide just so you get the idea where we're going. The Biglam brothers racing this image in chapter 4. It's about the fifth Imogen. So this is Thomas Eakins, 1873, oil on canvas. We have a lot of different lines going on in here. This is a horizontal, another horizontal down here, horizontal here, kind of a horizontal here, but somewhat of a diagonal. He's calling that a diagonal in the book. So you can see this is mostly fairly a calm, pleasant day. Some activity though. There's some diagonals here. The bodies are diagonals, right? We're calling that a diagonal. The clouds are diagonals moving along, but not dramatic. Like if we go skip ahead just a wee bit, when we're looking at the Raft of the Medusa, these lines are quite active. You see there's a lot of diagonals. The diagonals dominate. So we know there's more drama, there's more activity, maybe perhaps there's more danger. With the Biglam brothers, there are diagonals, but they're almost to the point of being passive, and that I would say the horizontals really dominate in this particular piece. Okay, so that's giving us a sense of calm. There is some activity, but there's no heavy waves, right? The water is one way you can tell. But line is going to give us some emotional content here and some knowledge about what's happening in the piece. The Raft of the Medusa has two conflicting focal points led up to by diagonals. There's another diagonal here as well, but our eye is going here, it's going here, and you can kind of, the tension in this painting is the fact that they're getting pushed out away, out to sea, away from where the ship is rescuing them. So that's meant to create a drama and even more tension than